welcome to Unews. I'm Carolina Sarassa. Happy Jueves, feliz viernes, casi viernes, and thank you for being with us today. And we began today with President Trump and a rally in North Carolina. The president once again attacking 4 congressional women of color as an angry crowd chanted, "Stand her back," in reference to Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a Somalian refugee and a U.S. citizen. Pamela Silva Conde has more.
President Trump spoke in the Oval Office this afternoon and said that he didn't agree with the "Send her back" chant from last night's rally. As you heard, Trump said he tried to end the chants by resuming his speech quickly, but video of last night's event seems to prove otherwise. And this was the president's first appearance on the campaign trail since those controversial tweets. And Carolina, now many are interpreting this as a foreshadowing as what could be his 2020 election, his divisive re-election tactic, where satisfies most of his passionate supporters indeed.
And more than 8,000 people outside that event just waiting for the president. Pamela, thank you so much.
Thank you
for that report. Now, in Washington, the House has defeated an effort from Congressman Al Green to impeach President Trump. Here's that some Americans are taking their cue from the president. In Illinois, a store employee was caught on camera questioning consumers about their citizenship. As Maite Interiano explains, now police are investigating. Meanwhile, in Virginia, a church sign is drawing a lot of attention and creating a lot of controversy. The message is N9. And now to a major setback in the fight to take care of the men and women who risked everything, their lives, on 9/11. Senator Rand Paul put in the brakes on a funding bill for those first responders. The Republican from Kentucky says that concerns led to his decision. And the measure passed the House last week in a bipartisan vote of 402 to 12. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer asked the and now to the race for 2020. Senator Bernie Sanders defending Medicare for all. His plans hopes to get rid of private health insurance. Sanders is calling out his rivals who disagree. That includes Joe Biden, who he accused of lying about what the Sanders plan will do. Rafael Rodriguez has all the details. Coming out, a dangerous heat wave in Puerto Rico is in a state of unrest. Thousands of demonstrators took to the streets again on day 6 of major protests. They are demanding that Governor Ricardo Rosselló resign after private messages between him and his inner circle were leaked to the public. Carolina Rosario is in San Juan with the latest. Carolina.
Good afternoon. Here was the front line of the protest, and as you can see, right now we still have some police officers present protecting the streets, and some more protests are expected during the day. Nothing big as what we saw yesterday, but there's a big rally planned for Monday. The Puerto Rican community here are saying that they are not going to stop. Carolina Rosario, Unews.
Thank you, Caro, for that report from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And with a major heat wave impacting much of the country, the Oklahoma Department of... Also, in South Florida, the Miami-Dade State Attorney just announced a plan allowing ex-felons to cast their votes in upcoming elections. This after Florida's Republican Governor, Ron DeSantis, issued regulations blocking them from registering to vote until they pay court fees are paid. We're joined by Daniel Rivero. He's a reporter with Miami stations and victims of this crisis, undocumented children separated from their families who are seeking asylum. David Romo has some of their stories. A migrant who sought sanctuary in a Washington state was arrested by ICE officials after asking for a stay of deportation. Jose Robles spent 1 year inside a Seattle church, but now the man is in detention. Ivan Taylor has the story. Ivan for that report. And after the break, some drug users trading. And welcome back to Unews. In Tampa, Florida, 1 man was killed and traffic was shut down for hours after a deadly accident. Here's a look at what happened last night. Virginia, where police say they are seeing a dangerous trend. Some drug abusers using wax spray as a substitute to meth, and that may have contributed to many cases of overdoses. Gianni Aponte explains. Now, finding a tick attached to your body can be a painful, scary ordeal, but a man in Kentucky had a truly horrible experience after a tick grabbed into his eyeball. Jorge Hernandez explained what happened next. Coming up 4 years after the And 4 years after El Chapo's escape in Mexico, authorities are still hoping to know who was behind his plan. Joanna Usma has more details. President Evo Morales has met with the country's exiled community in Argentina, where he promised to complete a former home of Mexican artist Frida Kahlo is sometimes called La Casa Azul for its bright blue walls. For the past 60 years, the building has served as a museum dedicated to her work and life. It is one of the most popular museums in Mexico City, and Valeria León was able to receive a special personal tour.
Frida died 65 years ago. She passed away at the age of 47 here at her family home in Coyoacán, best known as the Blue House, a Mexico City cultural landmark. Unews, Mexico City.
And coming up, a recall alert involving a popular dip. Details: celebrities are amongst the thousand protests. And welcome back to Unews. Thousands in Puerto Rico are demanding a change after a major scandal involving the governor and his staff. Now, a group of superstar singers are playing a major role in uniting that opposition. Miriam Arias has more details.
Cani Garcia, Luis Fonsi, and PJ Sinzuela are also among the artists making their voices heard and asking for the resignation of Governor Ricardo Rosselló. Now, PJ Sinzuela actually released a song earlier this week calling out the government as the Residente, Bad Bunny, and Ile. And of course, these singers are joining a multitude of people asking for the resignation of the governor and for a change.
And it's not the first time we're seeing artists joining these political movements.
That's right, we've seen it before. Just some examples really quickly. In Russia, members of a female-fronted band went to jail for opposing President Vladimir Putin. And in China, artist Ai Weiwei created works of art protesting the government after thousands of children died in poorly constructed government buildings, Caro. But now I do have another story that I want to share with you. And we're talking, about activism. So another example is Philadelphia rapper Meek Mill. That's right, and it's the Reform Alliance, which they started back in January of this year. And the goal is to make reforms to the American criminal justice system. Now, this is when we're talking about parole and probation policy. Some of the things that they want to do is create incentives for people so that they do their parole, but if they go to school or if they get a license for something, that they can continue, they can get their parole reduced or their probation reduced.
That is a great initiative. And changing topics 100%. Miriam, are you going to Premios Juventud tonight?
I really wish I was going. I will be here covering it from News Sport, so I kind of will be with you guys a little bit. Are you going?
I'm not going. I'm staying home with the baby, but I'll be watching from home, first row, in my bedroom. But tomorrow we will have more for you guys of everything that went on.
Definitely.
In Premios Juventud. Promises to be great.
The highlights, everything here.
Of course. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta mañana, and thank you for watching.